Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo guys, my name is Vika Putri Utami. You can call me Vika. I am from the English Studies Study Program, Faculty of Tarbiyah and Teacher Training, Pontianak State Islamic Institute of Religion. Well, in this video, I will discuss about how the development of Islam in Indonesia in the post-independence period. Surely, some of you already know what history is, right? If not, let's see in this video what is history. History is the study of the past, especially how it relates to humans. History is also the result of human writing about what has happened in the past. History is very important to study, especially the history of Islam is civilization, because it has a very large influence on human life. Indonesia is a religious country. This religious attitude has been honored by this nation for a long time. As with animism, belief that the entry of Hinduism and Buddhism followed by the arrival of Islamic teachings. The process of the arrival of Islam in Indonesia became a chapter in the history of the Islamic world. Muslims fought for independence from the Dutch aggression, who came with the help of the Allied troops to recolonize Indonesia. Several Islamic figures occupy important positions in the political sphere, both in the cabinet and leading the physical and diplomatic struggle. This struggle aspirations were also contained in the formation of several Islamic organizations and parties. These communities colored by the development of Islam in post-independence Indonesia. So, what are the Islamic organizations and parties that were formed at the time? Let's discuss in more detail about what happened. The history of Islamic life in Indonesia has been recognized as a cultural force, but Islam is prevented from formulating the Indonesian nation according to an Islamic version. As a moral and cultural force, Islam is recognized for its existence, but not as a real political force. Subsequent development in the Old Order era, Islam has been given a certain place in a paradoxical configuration, especially in the political world. While the New Order, it seems that Islam is only recognized as a moral foundation for the development of the nation and state. It turns out the Jakarta Charter is also the base for Muslims in Indonesia. What are the factors in this debate? Let's discuss it. The debate over the final legislation of the Jakarta Charter continued into the post-independence period and became an argument for separatist movements, such as Darul Islam in West Java from 1948 to 1962 and also in South Sulawesi and Aceh. In the Constituent Assembly, since the end of the 1955 election, which were held based on the 1950 Constitution, Islamists created another challenge for the Pancasila model state. Since neither party had met the 2/3 of the vote required for ratification, Sukarno finally dissolved the Constituent Assembly by using a presidential decree on May 1959. Actually, in the concept of the Jakarta Charter produced by the Committee of 9 on June 22, 1945, there was a guarantee to carry out Islamic law for adherents of Islam, but one day after independence, August 18, 1945, the concept was crossed out and replaced only with the sentence belief in the one good. Al-Mahdi, a sentence that is very natural, has many meanings, is beneficial for non-Muslim and nationalist groups, but quite detrimental in politics for Muslims. Due to the reason that Indonesia is struggling to uphold independence, Muslims do not object to the deletion, but will fight to restore it at better times and conditions. Islamic violent movements also occur in various regions. What is the area? Some of this area include West Java in 1949 to 1962, Central Java in 1965, Sulawesi ending in 1965, Kalimantan ending in 1963, and Aceh in 1953, ending with a compromise in 1957. In some of these areas, there were rebellion movements including the West Java DI or TII movements led by Sekarmaji Kartosuwiryo, Central Java DI or TII movements led by Amir Fatah, the South Sulawesi Rebellion led by Kahar Muzakkar, the South Kalimantan Rebellion led by Ibnu Hajar, and the rebellion in Aceh led by Daud Bere. In the previous period, several Islamic organizations had been born, such as Muhammadiyah, Islamic Trade Union, Nahdlatul Ulama, and others. Despite pressure from the new order, Islamic politics emerged from the United Development Party. And in the Reformation era, it grew and grew with the Crescent Star Party or PBB, the National Mandate Party or PEA, National Awakening Party or PKB, the Prosperous Justice Party or PKS, and several other small parties. The emergence of the new order is considered a victory for Muslims because they contribute to this formation, so that Muslims put a lot of hope in the government, especially the opportunity to take part in the political field. However, in reality, this did not get the attention of the government of the new order rematch because the new order government was more oriented toward economic development. It turns out the education is also an important factor in the history of post-independence Islamic civilization. What the history? Let's see. In the field of Islam education, pesantren is the first religious education institution in Indonesia. Initially, pesantren were more of a religious institutions than a religious education institutions. Along with the development of the times, pesantren developed into religious educational institutions that teach religious material. But in subsequent developments, pesantren adopt a modern system so that pesantren not only taught religious knowledge, but also general lessons using advanced technology. To put the conclusions and links to the papers I've written, and to find out more, I've included some reference in the description box below. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Vika Utami. Goodbye guys, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.